Hello and welcome to another episode. Today we'll be looking at grammar and some language functions. Our focus today is on the wish clause. We're going to be looking at it carefully and how we can apply it in our daily life. Let's get started. Basically, we use the wish when we're wishing for something. So it either didn't happen, it happened and we regret it, or we want to change something that other people are doing. So let's see how these fit in our agenda. Let's look at the first one. We use the wish with the past simple. When do we do that? We use it when we're dissatisfied with a situation. We're unhappy with something. So we're talking about now, us wishing we can change something, or an unreal and unrealistic condition. How is that? Let's look at our first example. We can say, I wish I had my glasses with me. Which means, do I have my glasses right now? No, I don't have them, so I'm dissatisfied with the situation. This is one of the situations where we can use wish with the past simple. Another situation is if I say, I wish I were 10 years younger. What do you notice? Are you 10 years younger? Can you be 10 years younger? It's an impossible condition, an impossible situation. But we can use the wish with the past simple to express it. So as you notice, we can use it to talk about dissatisfaction with the present, or if we want to talk about an unrealistic, impossible situation. Let's look at another example. We can say, I wish I could read more quickly. I wish I could read more quickly. Again, this is something that you can't do. Can you read more quickly? Can you read quickly? Kind of, maybe you read a little bit slowly, but you want to improve it, so you're talking again about dissatisfaction. Let's look at the next type of wish clauses. We can use the wish with the past perfect. The past perfect, let me remind you, is when we use had and verb 3, the verb in the past participle. When do we do that? Again, it's very similar to the past perfect. So think about that situation. We use it when we regret something that happened in the past. So we're talking about the past. We're not happy with what happened in the past. So we either regret something that happened. If you regret something that happened, we say something like this. I wish I hadn't spent all my money, which means you had money and you spent it all. The situation you're talking about is that you spent more money. If you regret it, obviously you're going to be using the negative form. So you'll say, I wish I hadn't spent all my money. You can also use wish with past perfect to talk about situations which did not happen in the past. And here you're going to be doing the opposite. Instead of negating the situation, you'll use the regular way and you'll say, I wish I had saved some money. Now notice it's the same meaning. You spent the money and you wish you didn't spend it, you'll say, I wish I hadn't spent all my money. But if you're talking about saving money, which you didn't, you'll say, I wish I had saved some money. Now, in both situations that we talked about, whether we're talking about dissatisfaction with situations or talking about regretting something, we're talking about ourselves. But what if we're talking about other people? When we're talking about other people or making complaints, we use the wish with would. So here you're talking about someone else and you're trying to make a complaint on their behavior, you use wish with would. For example, you can say, I wish you wouldn't do that, which means they're doing something that you're not happy with or you want them to stop doing that thing. Or you can say, I wish my brother would get up early, which means your brother doesn't get up early and you wish they would. Very simple. So we talked about 3 different situations. Let's see if you can identify the use of those situations. Look at the following sentences. You have sentences from A to E. Which of these sentences do the speakers express regret? So one of the speakers in these sentences expresses regret. And we said if we express regret, what do we use? We use wish with the past perfect. Let's look at the examples. I suggest that you pause the video, try to find the answer before checking with me. Excellent, excellent. So as you notice, it's I wish I had kept my old newspapers, because here we used I wish plus had kept, which is the verb in the past participle. Excellent. Let's look at another question. In which of these sentences Do the speakers express criticism or annoyance? So they're annoyed with someone or something and they're criticizing something. Again, here we're talking about someone else's behavior. So I'm going to remind you that usually we use it with wish and would. So which of these do you think? Pause the video and then check back with me. Excellent. The answer is clear. I wish people would take the problem more seriously. Wish with would to talk about other people's behavior, criticism, or annoyance. Now, let's do another exercise to make sure you got the wish clauses perfectly. Let's look at this exercise. In this exercise, you have 1A, B, C, D, and E, and you have to match them to the box in blue. So you're going to match the sentences in the yellow box to the sentences in the blue box. I'm going to give you some time to work on these answers and then we'll work together to check them. Excellent. So let's look at the first one. The first one is, I wish people would take the problem more seriously. What would you say? How would you express it? Your response to it? Maybe one day they will. Excellent. And as you notice here, all of these situations work when we talk about functions. So we'll come back to that. Everything you take in grammar, you can apply when you work or you answer the functions questions. Just think of yourself in that situation. And remember, we're trying to use grammar in our daily lives. We're trying to apply it to what? To how we speak and use it in the correct situation. The second sentence we have is, I wish we could recycle plastic more easily. And let me tell you here that again, I wish we could, we're using the past simple. So we're talking about dissatisfaction with the situation. So you're dissatisfied with something, how would someone reply to you? Hopefully, we will be able to do so eventually. Excellent. Let's look at another sentence. Here we have, I wish I knew about the environment. Again, do you know about the environment in this sentence? No, you don't. So you wish that you knew, which is in the past simple. How would you respond to it, or how would someone respond to that situation? You can say, in the future, I'll know more. Excellent. And let's do the last question here. I wish they would stop littering everywhere. Now, again, I wish they would. We're talking about someone else's behavior, so we're using wish and would. How would a perfect response for this sentence be? Or what would a perfect response be? Excellent. It is so annoying. You have this picture in your student's book. What I'd like you to do is to look at the pictures A to E and try to read them with me and think, what is the person expressing in each of these pictures? Let's look at the first one. Here we have the first person saying, I wish he'd stop complaining. He's talking about someone else. So what's he doing? Is he showing regrets? Is he complaining about someone? Is he talking about something, a situation that he's dissatisfied with? Or what? What do you think? Again, you have B. I wish I were 25 years younger. Again, he's wishing for something. Is it a realistic wish? Can he do it? Is he dissatisfied with his situation? Or is he regretting something? Or is he talking about someone else? We also have the next sentence. I wish I could swim. Again, think of all the situations that you took and which one are we talking about here? We also have picture D. I wish they'd stop making so much noise. Again, who are they talking about? What's the purpose of the sentence and why are they using wish here? And the last one we have here, I wish I were 10 centimeters taller. Again, think of the situation. Let's look at the answers together. The first one, the person saying, I wish he'd stop complaining. Again, he's showing here criticism. So he's criticizing someone. How do we use wish with it? We say, I wish he'd stop complaining. I wish he would stop complaining. Let's look at number 2. I wish I were 25 years younger. Here he's showing regret. He regrets that he's not. So, and he's dissatisfied with his situation. So we use I wish I were. Excellent. Now let's look at the next sentence we have here. I wish I could swim. Can he swim? No, he can't. So here we say I wish I could with the past simple. Let's look at letter D. I wish they'd stop talking so much. Here, they're talking about someone else. So I wish they would stop. Excellent. Criticism. And the last one we have here, I wish I were 10 centimeters taller. Again, very simple, very clear. They're showing regret. Let's look at another exercise to make sure we got the hang of it. Look at exercise 5. What I'd like you to do is to look at these sentences and write which sentences to follow the beginning. So for example, the first one we've done for you, I'm really tired, so you're tired now, and you can't sleep at night. What would you say? You're dissatisfied with your situation, so you're going to say, I wish I could sleep at night. Now, what I want you to do is to try and answer questions B to E, and then we'll check them together. Let me first read you the questions. Question B, the weather's too hot at the moment. So right now, the weather's hot. What would you say? C, people drive too fast in the city center. So what would you do? Would you complain? Would you show regret? Would you criticize? Up to you. Then the next question, the clothes I want to buy are too expensive. How would you use wish to express something here? And the last one you have here, I forgot my homework and the teacher is angry. Here, your teacher is angry. What can you do? What will you say? So I'll give you time and then we'll come back and check the answers. Excellent. Let's see some examples we've provided here for you. The first question, the weather's too hot at the moment. You can say, I wish it was cooler. Excellent. If you have something similar to that, you're good. Just make sure that you used the past simple. I wish it was cooler. The next question we have, people drive too fast in the city. You're talking about some other people, so you'll say, I wish they would drive carefully. Now, as long as you have wish with would, you're good. The next question we have here, the clothes I want to buy are too expensive. So here you're going to show some regret, so you'll say, I wish they were cheaper. Anything along the same lines. And the final question we have, I forgot my homework and the teacher is angry. What would you say? You're regretting something that you've done, so you'll use I wish I had remembered it. As long as you have had with verb 3, you're good to go. Now, let's do another exercise. This is exercise 6. Again, it's in your student's book. All you have to do is complete the wish sentences using the correct form of the verb. I wish I finished my work leaving the office yesterday. So we're talking about yesterday. So what would you say? Remember, you're talking about here, it shows that you wish you did something else. So you'll say, I wish I had finished my work before leaving the office yesterday. The next question we have, I wish know the answer to the question last week. Now, what do you think are we trying to show here? Do you regret not knowing the answer? Again, if you do, you're going to say, I wish I had known the answer to the quiz question last week. The next question we have, I wish I on holiday with you last year. It's very clear that you're regretting not going with them, so you'll say, I wish I had gone on holiday with you last year. Excellent. Now, in your workbook, you have your grammar assistant. Refer to it to check the use of wish clauses and to have it with you. It's always good to have it on hand. What we're going to do now is answer question 3 in your workbook. This is what the question or the exercise will look like in the workbook, but for the sake of this episode, we've transferred it onto the screen. Let's read the instructions. All you have to do is rewrite the sentences using the verb wish and the words in brackets. So you're going to be using wish with the verb provided. You can either use wish with would, wish with could, wish with past simple, or wish with past perfect, depending on the situation. So let's look at the first question. You waste too much paper. Stop wasting paper. So you want to say, stop wasting paper. We're talking to someone else. So what would we say? I wish you would stop wasting paper. Excellent. Question B we have here. My sister spends too long talking on the phone. Now we're complaining about our sister's behavior and we want to focus on spends so long. So what would we say? I wish she didn't spend so long talking on the phone. Excellent. Let's look at question C. I'm very shy about speaking in public. So what would we say if we're focusing on not so shy? I'm talking about myself, so I'll say, I wish I wasn't so shy about talking in public. Excellent. Now we've reached question D. She wasted too much time on computer games. We want to focus on so much time. So how would we respond? She wishes she hadn't wasted so much time on computer games. Excellent. I think it's time to practice using wish clauses. So I have 2 multiple choice questions for you. Let's see if you can get them correct. The first question we have here, I want you to choose the best answer. The question goes, the student wished she for the exam last week. We're focusing on last week, and the student, we said, wished in the past simple. So which one would it be? Would it be studied, had studied, studies, or was studying? Excellent. It's had studied. Let's look at another example. I'm too busy to go out. So you're too busy. You can't go out. I wish I what more free time. Now, you don't have free time and you regret it. How would you answer? I wish I what? Had, would have, and have had. Notice here, we're talking about something that we can't change. So we're going to be using had. And remember, had here is the verb itself. So we're using it with the past simple. If we wanted to use it with past perfect, we would have said, I wish I had more time. Don't get confused with the verb had. This brings us to the functions part of our episode. Remember, as always, I always remind you to look at the situation itself and try to focus on the situation, what you would respond to that situation, and use a full, accurate sentence starting with a capital letter and ending with a full stop. Let's look at our first example. You regret not applying to university. So here we're showing a regret. Notice how we can use the wish rule to apply to functions. You want to show regret, so you can say, I wish I had applied to this university. Or you can express your opinion by saying, applying to many universities is a useful idea. Or you can state advantages to that university. This university has a lot of facilities and education programs. Let's look at another example. You're complaining about people not respecting the environment. You can either regret that people don't respect their environment, but if you're complaining about other people's behavior, remember which wish would you use? I wish people would respect the environment. Or you can say, I wish people wouldn't litter and show respect to the environment. Remember, you can use any grammar rule as long as you apply it correctly. You can also express your opinion about people not respecting the environment is a bad thing, or you can state advantages of people respecting the environment. This brings us to the end of our episode. In this episode, we focused on using wish clauses and language functions. Thank you for watching.